Hello and welcome back. My name is Vanessa Blank from Wild Woman Bushcraft. At first my plan was to make a complete different video for you, but then I meet someone from this area here who told me a story what brings me to make a complete other video. I know that we had here in Chiemgau, this is the area from which I've come, in the 4 Alpland, we had much sinkhole enigmas. These are holes in the ground, and the people told them since many years thunder holes, because they thought in the past when from a thunderstorm the lightning came down, it opens a hole in the ground where you can fall in. And here are many of these mystery holes. And I know that we had these holes here around in this part from Bavaria, but I don't know that in exactly this forest here is a hotspot of them. If I be honestly, I know that this earth throat exists here, but I never think about the story, how it happens and why they are there. But this changed now a few minutes before, because I meet an origin, a man who lived here, a very old man, and he told me the whole story about these earth holes. And there are many legends and mystery about the existing from those earth holes, and it is a little bit a bad feeling when you know you walk here through a normal forest and then it could be that the earth, the ground is complete open from your feet and you can maybe fall down a few meters deep. So the man told me it is very dangerous to let the children play here away from me, because it could be that there is such a hole and they fall down. Normally I am not on the way into this part of Bavaria, I'm normally in another part, and now I am here into this forest. I never thought that I found here a story like that and that it could be maybe so dangerous like he told me. I show you now some pictures that you can see how they look. The local people that lived here know this mystery science more centuries. So, and in the last, I thought 100 years, they wrote down when they found such a hole. And the deepest one that they found was 8 meters deep, and at the ground it was also 8 meters big. So they are really massive. Why I tell you this story? So it is only a problem for the people who live here or who walks here through the nature. But it is a little bit dangerous for all of these people here, because maybe you are on the way when the sun is away and it is getting dark and you know nothing and you see nothing, and then suddenly in front of your feet there is such a massive hole. So there are many myths and legends about what happens with these holes in the past. The man told me that there are stories that wagons from the farmers slip away because over the night such a hole is open at their farm area, or that children fall in. And one woman had a lake in his garden, and one morning as this woman go into their garden, there was no water into this lake because such a hole came out under the lake in the middle of the night. So this is very creepy. When something like that happened, that they found a new of these holes, so this is a big spectacle. The police comes, the firemen, and the press for the newspaper. So this is a lot of trouble every time. But this man knows not that a new from these holes come, but he told me that there is a very massive and big hole into this forest, and this is also this has also the same reason like the existing from those holes. And we are searching now, maybe we can find it. Of course, we be very careful. I'm not sure if we can find this wall and this hole, because he told me only to the right and that we had to go, so I'm not sure if we can really find it. So. Ich glaube da vorne. Aber geh mal langsam, wir gehen gemeinsam hin. Ja, das ist ein Wurzelloch. I think we found it. Here is a very big hole in the middle of the forest. There are also trees growing inside, so it had to be an old one. And the earth is going very down here. Here you can see it. I hope you can see it. And yeah, I think this is one of those holes, but it is bigger than normal. Of course, the people want to find out more about this mystery, and there was a lot of academic examination. So the people, the nature living people here, told a lot of stories that are not really true. But the academics found out that there are two possibilities what could happen, that those holes exist now. One of these theories is that there was a devastating, striking comet 2,500 years ago. And this comet fall down here in this area in front of the Alps and make an earthquake. And these waves from the earthquake was melting the sandstones that are here, and they came out like an explosive out of the ground. And then there was such a hole. And over the years, the hole is covered with clay and with branches, and it was again invisible. The other theory is that the scampholite stones had a suspension from groundwater, so that the groundwater wash out these holes. And that people, that academic that think that this is the true story behind the holes, think also that these holes are covered with clay, and only when much water come down to this area, so when we had much snow or after a thunderstorm, the clay is more like a liquid and fall down, and then is this hole again open. So this is the reason why these holes are invisible over years, and then suddenly over the night they are open again. And yeah, the people in the past think that when these holes are opened after a thunderstorm, that a thunderstorm and lightning make these holes. But now they know that this is not the true story behind them. My children love adventures, and so they want to find one of these holes now. But of course it is a little bit dangerous, and I am afraid that something could happen. And the man told me also that when such a hole is open again after all those years, they fill it again with sand and stones so that nothing can happen, that nobody can fall down. So they are only open for a few days, and then the police came and they should cover it again and fill it again. So, but that the children and maybe you can find out how it could look inside of such a hole. We are driving now to another place around 30 kilometers away from here. There are also the same kind of stones, and there are everywhere holes like this holes here into this forest, in such a wall of sand and stones. So it is really impressive, and so the children can look and see and find out how it could look inside of such a mystical hole. So let's go. The holes in the ground are really great. The kids and I are just stunning how deep they are. And of course we can't go inside of such a hole. But I knew this place here near the holes in the ground. This here are not the same. These are washed out from the water. And here the kids can see how deep they are and how they look when they are normally in the ground. In the front you can see the holes when they are open, and when you look at the ground there are those places with leaves and sand and stones. These are the holes that are complete, and it is really fascinating when you thought about it, that there are in the forest such massive holes into the ground like this. Here we see a hole that it is complete, and it is complete open. Only on top there is a top of clay which covered this hole. It is unbelievable how many holes there are. Here you can see one hole which is open. There is only a small bridge what is left, and direct behind this open hole there is a closed one, and there are nearly 30 centimeters between them. There are so many holes, it is like a Swiss cheese. Unbelievable. Many of those holes in the ground are really big in the inside of the hole. They had 6 or 7 meters into the ground, and here there is such a washout from the water, which is also very big, and on top is the hole, so you can see how it can look inside of such a hole. Wow, this story is really mystical and a kind creepy. So when you thought about it, that you walk into a forest and suddenly there was a hole like this and maybe you fall 7 meters down. So this is nothing what I want that it happens to me. And it is a phenomenon that is only here in my area in front of the Alps. And I know not that something like this happened everywhere around of the world. So maybe something like this happened also in your area, or something else what is very mystical and magical. So if you know a story like this, please write it for me here down in the comments. So thank you for watching, and we see us again in the next video. Have a great time. Bye bye.